Hello everybody, this is the very reputable scientist Dr. G, and today we'll be experimenting with building mechanics, testing the worst spawn location, committing some major crimes against nature, and much more. For today we'll be attempting to scientifically test, or more often than not break, Project Zomboid. We will start with the neglected child for as far as game mechanics go for me, base building. As with building anything in your life, I'm sure we have all once asked ourselves the question, just how big can it get? And whilst in a normal survival game, your puny flesh bag of a body will probably give out before ever approaching this question, when I spent some time digging around in debug mode, I did not have such weaknesses. The game appears to have a quite strict limit on the height you can build buildings, with a maximum of 7 floors. Besides this, the game seems to not much give a fuck about logic when it comes to building. I can just hammer away at this 7th story floor, whilst giving the finger to any form of foundation. Also look at Dr. G just using his bare hands to hammer down the floor, what a badass! And if we then continue with our campaign of neglecting all known laws of physics, we could theoretically make a bridge to the other side of the river. But I'm more interested to see what happens if I do this. I'm still alive! This smells of great possibilities, and I think I have found the place where I'm going to do the rest of my testing. And now to test the vertical building limit, I just have to... Yes! Yeah, it indeed seems like you can build on for as long as you want. And yes, that was definitely worth 10 minutes of my life. Next up, I have a curious anomaly. Dr. G is as much a fan of his car as any fellow American, but he can't help but be insulted by the fact that his brand new Chevrolet Corvette has the same speedometer as Sandra's beat-up Pranami. To silence his insecurities, the doctor is going to do some maximum speed tests to find out whether or not he has spent his scientifically earned dollars on the wrong car. Ooh, that's promising, 120 for the Corvette. But now for the moment of truth. Oh, thank God, Sandra's car can only go 105. And after some testing, it turned out that this specific news fan turned out to have the lowest maximum speed at 75 miles per hour. Although for some reason the cruise control claims 85, which was just a little bit slower than the normal company vans, which did 80. And above that, most cars went up to about 100 miles per hour. And the dog can rest easy, knowing that this beautiful sports car leads the pack with 120 miles per hour. Then one more thing, can you jump from a moving vehicle? I got a comment about that one, apparently it's not possible. I'm not insane, I've never tried it. And it turns out the comment was correct. Instead of irresponsibly jumping from a moving vehicle, you just blindly slam on the brakes as hard as possible. It might not be so good for your car, but I'm sure your body will thank you for it. Now, on to spawn locations. I've seen a lot about the best spawn location, but as you probably know, I like torturing myself sometimes. So I'm also interested in the worst spawn location. And of course there's no question that West Point, with its gazillion zombies, is by far the worst town. But what is the worst individual spawn location? Well, now I could go over all the spawn locations and rate them on a bunch of points and choose the worst that way, but I'm not that scientific. Besides, I have a bias, because almost every time I've spawned in this damn town, I've spawned here in this stupid hotel. But there's nothing in here, and around there's nothing but hordes. So I deem this officially the worst spawn location. I'm calling it, when the army comes to liberate this area, this poor excuse of a lodging should be bombed first. Well, after that I think I need to redeem the scientist in me with an actually high quality experiment. This is also a bit more of a personal bit of research. Let me tell you a little story. I really love to cut down trees in video games. I know, not a very long story, but whether it is in Minecraft, The Forest, or probably my favorite game to do it in, Don't Starve, I don't know what it is, but there's something very therapeutic about committing mass deforestation. Now over to this game. I would very much like to know how long it would take to cut down all the forests in the entire game. But calculating that would take a really long time. Only to determine what a forest actually is and how many cells there are would take ages. So instead I'll be calculating how long it takes to cut down one cell of densely forested forest. Ooh, that's one thick square of wood. And a 1, and a 2, and a... And holy moly! I can already tell that in 60 hours without so much as sleep, the immortal being called Dr. G only got through a tiny part of the cell. Now just imagine how long a mortar would take to cut down this square of forest. And still, it's only this tiny square of one cell of the whole map. And that was with max axing ability and with this beast of an axe. Or rather, 11 of them. Now I measured the screen, and the square came out to being about 33 by 35 meters. Taking into account that the cell is 150 by 150, this means that it fits about 20 times into the square, meaning it takes about 1160 hours, or 1.5 in-game months of non-stop cutting to remove one full cell of forest. Now, somebody else can go and calculate that through to the whole game. I can't be arsed. Over to something else. My Always to Die video did very well, but I'm not quite satisfied because I got a whole lot of helpful comments from you guys containing some more ways you can die. And if I claim to have Always to Die, well then I'll settle for nothing less, darn it. So what better format to do some bonus tests than with good old Dr. G over here. Excuse me, what? For the first bonus death, and I got this one a couple times, we will be testing overheating. Now this is going to ruin Mr. Man's dashing outfit a bit, but for this to potentially work we need to put on as much clothing as possible. Ah gee, don't worry about it, you look good in any drip. Now let's do some exercise. No, I'm cooling down again. This is not working. I think it's time for the sauna. And with the car I got all the way up to 48 degrees. But still the sauna was just not doing it. Maybe on a very hot day, when running around in all of the clothing, you can overheat, but for now I have to conclude not successful. Yeesh, from all that running around I've gotten extremely stressed. Time for some nice cigarettes to calm my nerves. Oh, so good. Yes, very tasty. It looks like I'm starting to not feel so good. Oh, I'm sick. This is heading in the right direction. Come on, I'm still stressed. I need some more. Oh shit, I'm dying. Oh, so close to death. But I need to smoke more. Ugh. So you can die of smoking too much. Cool, I guess. Oh no, my brother! Well, I guess I have to carry on his legacy now. Now, I got some people that died from drinking tainted water. But drinking that kind of water is really not that dangerous. If you're really thirsty and unlucky and find yourself slurping out of the nearest river, you will probably at most lose part of your HP. And there appears to be no difference between the water from the river and that out of a barrel. That time I got lucky and didn't even get damaged. But I guess technically you could die from it if you were weakened by something else. So good enough, it's going on the list. Now the last one I came up with back when I was constructing my masterpiece. I'm a clumsy guy, you know. At these heights I was of course very careful. But what if I... Wait, that still doesn't tell me whether I can die by drowning in the river. Could have also just been fall damage that time. Guess I have to build a little diving board. And nope, I didn't die, but I am now stuck. No! So in total that now makes for 16 deaths if we throw away the joke one that I did at the end of the video and add the ones from tainted water and smoking. In total that creates this very scientific and beautiful list. Let's now hope I actually got all of them this time. And with that little bit of bonus science, I would like to end this video. Hope you enjoyed this academic performance. If you did, hopefully see you next video. Bye bye.